Recently, I've been getting back into Taiko no Tatsujin, which, if you've never played Taiko no Tatsujin, allow me to briefly explain. It's a rhythm drumming game that is very popular in Japan. I love it because it has a lot of anime openings on it that I can play in, like Cha La, Head Cha La, the Dragon Ball theme. But playing this game reminded me of a very bad story I had in middle school. And I'm going to start by saying I'm not the best musically gifted. Growing up, me and my two brothers, we all attended orchestra. My eldest brother did the cello, while me and my elder brother did the violins. And it comes in one's career as a middle school violinist after faking plenty of concerts over the years. I would say about six up to this point in my life. And this still rings in my ear. This still lives rent free in my head because it's an embarrassing time, and honestly, I always felt like I was going to be called out for a fraud. I'm going to say it right now. I couldn't play the violin to save my life. I couldn't remember anything about the songs we were playing, and basically faked it till I made it. And you might be wondering, well, how do you do that? Well, during a concert, all the parents only care about one person, their kid. So the only people watching me are my family. Oh god. So my family's watching this wreck of a 15-year-old kind of flounder around in his chair trying to play notes or pretend he's playing notes. And yeah, my elder brother did know. Thankfully, he never ratted me out to my parents because I feel like they'd be like, "Wow, we're really disappointed in you, Cuckoo. How could you fake it for that many years?" But he did approach me recently, asked if I faked it. I said yes. Yeah, oh, you bet your bippy I did. But there came a time in one's middle school career where everything was on the line, or that's how the orchestra teacher put it. And it was a thing called solo and ensemble. Now, for a brief explanation, it's that this is supposed to be a prestigious event where you go before a panel of judges in either a soloist group where you play a song for 2 to 3 minutes by yourself, or you play in a group for 2 to 3 minutes and get judged as a whole. I got thrown in the ensemble, thank Christ in heaven, because if it was a solo, I'm pretty sure my score would be 0%. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have even gotten a note right. I don't even think they would have even given me pity points. I think they would have just broken my violin right then and there in front of me and said, "Please do not play again." But the way the ensemble worked was there was no real seating arrangement. All that really mattered was that the cellos were either on the outside in the first row, so on the ends of the first row, or in the back. That's all that mattered to the orchestra teacher. So what I did was I kind of just beelined in the room ahead of everyone and sat in the nucleus of it all. And we were kind of tightly packed. Like, yeah, we had enough room to like spread legs a bit, and we had enough for music stands. But I had pretty good cover here. I had cover of people beside me. I had cover of people front and back of me, as well as the cover of a music stand, so they couldn't see what notes I was playing. Now, let it be known that whenever I see music notes, I can kind of read them. I kind of get the gist of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I get all that. I get the rise and lowering of scales. I could even probably tell you what some notes are. But when you start grouping them together and you start putting accents on those notes and you start making me read those notes while playing them, it's like reading hieroglyphics and I couldn't do it. I just can't. I'm sorry. It's my weakness. My Christ, my brother in heaven, I can't do it. I just can't. So, after 2 to 3 minutes of agonizing pain and me being like, well, I'm going to be outed for faking playing, and thinking, well, everyone's going to hate me after this. So I kind of just sadly packed up my violin. I kept my head down. I put it over. I have it at my side, and we had to wait for everyone to finish before scores would be published. And I'll tell you, it was agonizing because it was a bunch of people talking about where they think they went wrong and how they faulted. Now, me, I didn't really care. I could fake the passion about caring, but I didn't see what this proved. What made these judges so up high on a horse that made them rightful of judging? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. And I don't get the whole experiment of this anyways. It kind of seems degrading to play as a group only to have, one guy tank us down. But maybe that's from the outcast perspective. Maybe it's an honor to be judged by these people. Like, these guys are the gold standard, the Michelin star chefs of, Orchidorks. I don't know. But after everything was said and done, and the scores were graded, I calmly walked up and saw that we had gotten an 86%. And I may have dropped my violin because I was in shock. We did that well. We got a B plus in ranking. Heck yeah. And that wasn't even the worst. There was one girl in the solo department that got a 50%. And she was basically in tears. She basically quit that day. I didn't care about her sadness, though, because I just got an 86% for faking it. Ah! Another highlight of the whole thing was that one guy was reading his score, and he was really pissed he got an 80, and he was a solo trumpist, and, like, the way he handled it, you thought he was like J.K. Simmons from Whiplash. He was furious, like throwing around drum kits, breaking shit over his head. I'm pretty sure they had to like take him away and call his mom or something because he was not handling it well. But to this day, I think fondly and sadly about those days in orchestra, mainly because I can't play, and that there's still a reminder of money wasted on something I couldn't do. And just the off chance that there is someone who always had those suspicions that I was faking my playing throughout all those years and finally has their gotcha moment, yes, this is it. I did fake playing an instrument for 5+ years through multiple concerts and a prestigious event known as solo and ensemble. This is my confession, because basically I get tired of going to bed every night, be ready to snuggle up in my bed, all comfy as a newborn, and then I think about that day. Okay, it's one of those things that haunts me. But now that my soul is cleansed and I'm free of guilt, I can finally move on with my life.